Let me change my hat around so it looks cool. Science is cool, right? Science is cool. So we're going to start today.
You're gonna rap.
Yeah, we can rap about bees. Bees, bees, touch my knees. Don't make me sneeze. It's pollen, right? All right. So for today's video, we're going to look at bees. All right. Bees play an important role in the ecosystem. I believe these are actually Western honeybees. This little guy right here. I know you can't see it too well. I'll put a picture in the video, but they have a thing called a pollen sac on their back legs, and that's to carry pollen from flower to flower. Now you'll be asking, why are they carrying pollen from flower to flower? Well, a lot of species of flowers need pollen to germinate. The flower is actually like a sexual organ. It has male and female parts. So what the bee does is it rubs its little body and carries what would be like a sperm cell, the male parts, and carries them to a different flower and rubs against the flower, and the flower is able to take in these and fertilize the eggs that are within the flower, because each flower in the end does carry some seeds like this. So this flower was probably fertilized, maybe a couple weeks ago by a bee, and then the flower was able to reproduce and have fertilized eggs. So now these flowers can reproduce with a new generation. There are different types of pollinators. There are butterflies. There are other insects. There are even humans. A lot of agriculture industries today use man-pollinated plants. So like in a laboratory, they breed tomato flowers by rubbing, the flowers together like this, and then we're able to pollinate the female parts of the flower. So the reason why the bees are working together with the flowers is because a lot of flowers produce pollen, which the bees will take back to their home, and that's a form of protein. And they also take back nectar. So there are other flowers that produce a lot of nectar. I don't see any here. Maybe those orange ones over there produce a nectar. So what the flowers have done, they've created a way for them to be able to reproduce by using another different kind of animal, like the bee, to carry the reproductive parts that are necessary for, the continuity of their species. This is amazing, and almost all the flowers around the world use this form and type of reproduction. This bee's job in life now is to just take the pollen from flower to flower and take pollen back to its nest to make food for the next generation. The bee's not going to sting me, as you can see. Its only concern is reproduction and the reproduction of its species and the continuity of life. I'm not bothering it. I'm not attacking it. I'm not even attacking its hive. So these bees have no concern about whether I'm here messing with the flowers or doing anything, because, in the end, animals just want to eat, reproduce, and sleep. So bees are one of the coolest animals that have ever existed in human history. They're well organized. They're community minded. They care more about, each other than themselves. And it's really sad to see that a lot of these insect species like bees that actually help agriculture and even allow for food to grow in our world are at risk today because of insecticides and pesticides are destroying these insect populations. And we need to be more concerned about these small little creatures, because actually humans depend on them. I mean, you like eating tomatoes, right? Or you like eating fruit, or almonds. There we go, perfect example, almonds and peaches. Well, without bees, there's no almonds and peaches, because they're required to pollinate the flowers that produce an almond or a peach. So, if you're watching this video and you see a bee, don't worry about killing it. Just let it go, let it do its job. It has its own life to live, It has a job to do for its community, for you and for me and for the whole world. So, yeah, these are pretty cool. So, let them be.